Good morning and welcome back to Doing It Live with Doomlink. We are here in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this will be one of our last times in the past. Because we are going into the future. Unfortunately, I decided to go AFK in Hyrule Field, and as a consequence of that, I ended up wasting a fairy, so here I am. Let's save the game now. Not ideal. I certainly could not be accused of having done the right thing by going AFK without opening up the menu. But anyway. Off we go. Now, if we wanted to, we could do the Happy Mask Salesman's quest before we go. The reason why we would do that, I suppose, is if we really didn't want to come back for the Mask of Truth later on. But the Mask of Truth, honestly, is not important. This is not going to be even close to a 100% playthrough of the game, so I'm not going to do the Happy Mask Man's, or the Happy Mask Salesman's quest. Yeah, children everywhere will cry and scream upon my confession. What the fuck is this? What? It's like there's a... What are these things called again? Well, it's like it's a rave. Anyway, the Sheikah Stone, yeah, it's like a Sheikah Stone rave. Yes, I do not require guidance. I will find my own way without hints. Thank you. Here we are. I guess it's for people who literally cannot figure out that they need to play the Song of Time in order to get through here. But, alright. So if I check, there are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Ye who owns the 3 spiritual stones, stand with the ocarina and play the Song of Time. I mean, that's quite explicit. I don't think you'd be able to... Well, I suppose if you're an infant. If you're an infant, perhaps you might find that confusing, but is that Sheikah Stone really going to give you more information than that? Like, what more can it tell you? Open ocarina. Bring it out. With that button, I don't know. I couldn't imagine. Here we are. It's the 3 incredibly ugly spiritual stones. And we will now be able to open the way to the pedestal with the Master Sword. But unfortunately, the Master Sword has not been spawned in yet. It's just the pedestal. It will appear in a moment. There it is. I find that really immersion breaking, that I have to let it render into the shot by getting close enough to see it. It's ridiculous. That's the sort of thing that I would expect for the original Nintendo 64 version, not the fucking 2011 3DS version. Come on. The Master Sword. It certainly is. Let's do it. Let's go into the future. Yeah. In my 2015 Let's Play, I kept on making a reference to a song that is also jumping into my head today as well. It's a song called Into the Future by Satan. Yes, Satan. It's an old British heavy metal band. Into the future, back to the past. But, yes. During my 2015 Let's Play, I just kept on going, into the future. Shut up, Ganon. Keep your mouth shut. Link, wake up. Link, the chosen one. Oh, wait. I think that's Roru speaking, so that voice that I just used, not entirely appropriate. Fun fact. Fun fact. This location does look quite impressive, obviously, in the remake. And I also have to say that Roru looks a lot better. He looks much better in this version. His head just looks wrong in the original. I think they were struggling to deal with the shape for the model. And also, Link's face looks pretty good here, I think. It was very, very angular. It was almost triangular in the original. You're big now. You've grown up. The Master Sword is a sacred blade that evil ones may never touch. Well, I'm glad I'm not evil. I don't think Link actually is possessed of the emotional dynamism that would allow for evil to fester and indeed manifest. I think he's a bit too, yeah. I'm not going to say he's vapid, but he's definitely not. He's not a passionate young man, is he? He's just sort of... He's a guy wearing green and he's hanging around, just existing and saving the world. But he's not too fussed one way or another. He's just doing it. Obtaining medallions looks insane in 3D. It almost hurts to look at. I'll have to look at that again. Yes, I am the hero of time. Let's find out. Let's get this medallion. We're about to receive one. This is the one medallion that you get that is not actually linked to the completion of a dungeon. You just get it for free. Alright. Oh, yep. No, that was alright. That didn't hurt my eyes too much. You received the light medallion. I think you just have sensitive eyes, AJ. Find the other sages and save Hyrule. Temple of Time. That is indeed where we are. Well, I suppose we weren't there before. I like how the spiritual stones rendered in before everything else. My immersion is getting broken by this game, and its inability to render everything at one time, despite being a game from 2011. Link, we're back, in the Temple of Time. But have you, or rather, have 7 years really passed? Well, that's what I was confused about. I wasn't sure if, you know, Link was a 10-year-old and then 10 years passed, or if he was a 10-year-old and 8 years passed. I mean, my guess at this point is that he was 11 and 7 years passed. But yeah, I just don't really know how old he is here. So, it's all a bit confusing. I've been waiting for you, hero of time. Yes, all right. Sheik, the person who, quite honestly, will not leave us alone. We've already got Navi bugging us all the time. And now we've got, young blonde man with giant hands. I mean, they could have done better hands than those, surely. Don't you think? Those hands are basically unchanged from the Nintendo 64 version. If I am to be subjected to hands that look like this, I may as well just quit right now and go and play the Nintendo 64 version, honestly. Why? Just do something with them. Do you understand, Link? No, I don't understand why your hands look like that. I haven't a clue. Alright, we are now adult Link. I will save the game. And here are our ugly spiritual stones. Ugly spiritual stone number 1, ugly spiritual stone number 2, and ugly spiritual stone number 3. Actually, I would say that the Goron Ruby looks okay. It looks passable. There's nothing... I would say that it's inoffensive to look at, whereas the other spiritual stones look like absolute trash. Alright, here we are. We are in the future, and you can see the future is bleak. It's not looking quite as colourful as it was before. Not only that, but the town is in ruins. Although, the sign of that guy's face remained intact fairly well. Onward. All right. AJ, when he was discussing the obtaining of the medallion in 3D, he doesn't mean like the 3D version. He meant like if you had the 3D setting turned on while playing on the 3DS. Why you would play on a 3DS with the 3D setting turned on, I couldn't imagine. I understand that it is a feature and that it is part of the naming of the console, but my god. Playing in 3D is a surefire way to almost immediately have eye strain of some kind. It was awful. It was like getting the, it was like those old picture books where you had to go cross-eyed in order to see the 3D. I could actually feel my eyes going slightly cross-eyed when I would push the slider up. And do you know how people give you very silly recommendations when you say things like this? Like, for example, they would say, oh, well, you don't need to turn the 3D up to maximum. I mean, nobody said that I was playing it at maximum, for goodness sake. In actual fact, any amount of 3D looked awful, okay? Yes, it was mildly fascinating to see the images coming out of the screen, but I mean, that fascination is blown away by the eye strain that one experiences. I mean, it's an absolute gimmick. It is the king of gimmicks. I didn't think that they could have had something more gimmicky than a Wiimote and a nunchuck, but no, they managed it with the 3DS. They really did. They managed it. They succeeded in having their video game library on the 3DS look like absolute bunkum, because that top screen, I'm telling you, whether you had the 3D on or off, everything on that top screen looked like it was swimming in Vaseline. It looked murky, it looked wet, it looked just terrible, but that's alright. We will make that sacrifice for the 3D. By the way, I did forget to get the gold sculpture in Lon Lon Ranch, but who cares, I'm not getting any more of those. Anyway, the point that AJ was making, just to return to what he was saying, was that in this version of the game, if you have the 3D effect on, because the medallion is very, very close to the field of view, it's really jumping out at you, and it's quite visually extreme. I am receiving a call, but I won't answer it. I'll return the call, I suspect, once I've finished this part. That'll be something that I go AFK for when this part concludes. Okay. I was just wondering if maybe the vibration of my phone transferred to the microphone in any way, because I actually have my XLR cable resting against the table upon which my phone was resting. So maybe somehow there was a vibration transferred to the microphone. I'm not sure. But anyway, something that I contemplated in the original attempt at this part, and I didn't really get further than this. To be clear, the live stream that I said had to be scrapped because of the leaf blower and the hedge trimmer in the background. What I achieved in that was 2 parts, where I did Lord Jabba Jabba's belly, and then did those tasks leading up to going into the future, and actually going into the future. Now, this is new territory. I'm actually proceeding into the game in the future for the first time in this recording series. So, what I contemplated in that previous attempt at the livestream was whether or not I should do the trading sequence. Not trading sequence, sorry. Oh no, it is trading sequence, yeah. Where you... Stop it. Sorry, I'm getting playback on my livestream. Basically, you can do the trading sequence for the Big Goron Sword at any time. So, should I do it now, or should I do it before the next dungeon, not the upcoming one? What I'll do is I'll get the hook shot first. One of the weird things about this game is that you can't just immediately go to the next dungeon. What you need to do is acquire the hook shot and then go to the next dungeon. So, I suppose I'll do that. Hold on. I'm now being bombarded with texts. Maybe the call was quite important. Here we go. Oh. Okay. I will, it's sort of, Yes, I suppose I won't be able to do a long live stream after all. Someone wants to catch up, and I really should take advantage of that opportunity. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, alright. I'll continue with this part for now, and then I'll suss things out. Alright, so what we're doing is we are acquiring the hookshot before we go to the forest temple. And how we do that, I believe, is we race Dunpei. Now, Dunpei, if you recall, in the past, was not a healthy-looking man. He has since died. It is my sad duty to report to you that Dunpei has since died. And indeed, the late Dunpei can now be raced as a ghost in order to acquire the hookshot. So, hallelujah. He's even got a little halo over his head. It's just adorable. It's, okay, maybe not adorable. I don't think anything referring to Dunpei could ever have the word adorable used as an adjective. Or at the very least, I would caution against it. That is what I would do. Let's make our way over here. It doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime, as I recall. Oh, seeing as though we're here, let's make use of that magic bean. Here we go. That's literally all it does. And we get a piece of heart. I really like that. I like it that because of the placement of that rupee, I'm quite likely to have a rupee cutting into my piece of heart. That looks really good. What an excellent shot. Nicely done, game. Alright. So, I suppose something I should have done, actually, now that I think about it, is I should have done the Dunpei digging game in the past before coming to the future, but that's fine. I had a feeling that I had forgotten maybe one or two things, but it's alright. As I said in the previous part, we're able to go back into the past pretty much at will. We really don't require the... there's no great difficulty in returning, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm trying to find the gravestone that we want. It used to be the one with the flowers in front of it, but now there aren't any fucking flowers, so I'm a little bit confused, but here we go. Why did they get rid of the flowers? I mean, that was the purpose behind the flowers being put there, was it not? Is this where we want to go? I really don't remember. How do we race Dunpei again? Maybe we play Zelda's Lullaby. Is that what we do? I'm sure I'll figure it out, but I don't remember how to play it now. That's alright, I have a cheat sheet. Zelda's Lullaby. Excellent. It didn't do shit. I had a feeling it wasn't doing anything. Maybe we just drop down here now. Because remember the... yeah, this is probably what I want to do, isn't it? I think. I guess we'll find out. I just don't clearly remember. Where is Dunpei? How do we reach him? Shut up. I don't know why you've got a mask. I'll never understand that. Apparently when you die, you find a mask and you put it on. That's how being dead works. I apologize for this. I've had a mental blank and I've forgotten how to access Dunpei, so I will look it up now. How to race Dunpei. I don't even know where he is. Where is the Dunpei race? If Link moves the tombstone... This is about what I would expect. How about this for a description? That's where the Sun Song is. Yeah, I know that, but anyway. As an adult, Link can find Dunpei's grave in Kakariko Village's graveyard. Okay, so I suppose if we were to actually read the the gravestones. Or perhaps, I suppose, if we were really, really familiar with the gravestones as they were laid out in the past, we would find the one that was new. Shut up! We would find the one that was new and then pull that one. Now, I don't know which one is the new gravestone, but that's all right. The new one has flowers in front of it. Alright. Well, I was right about the flowers, it's just... I was pulling the wrong gravestone. I'm not seeing any with flowers, actually. Unless I'm blind. Oh, there are the flowers. Very good. I'm just completely ignoring this Poe. We got there in the end, ladies and gentlemen. We eventually figured it out. Unless this is not where I want to be. And this is again not the right grave. Who knows? What I can say is that I haven't bombed this yet. So let's do that. I think this is, yeah, this is a fairy fountain. But that's alright. I am in need of fairies. Very good. I've got 3 bottles, apparently. I don't know where I got this 3rd bottle. I'm only going to fill 2 with fairies. I'm going to keep 1 empty just in case I need it for something or another. I'm just unequipping them so that I don't accidentally use them. Alright, so the grave with flowers clearly was not this grave with flowers. It's a different fucking grave with flowers. I don't know why I'm struggling with the basics of the basics. But that's alright. Which grave is Dumpe's grave? It's this fucking one. For goodness sake. There are lots of holes in the graveyard. Here he is. Young man, are you fast on your feet? I may not look like it, but I'm confident in my speed. I wonder if they've made this minigame easier. I don't make that comment to suggest that it was difficult originally. I've just noticed that certain things that already were quite simple have been made even easier in this version, so I'm interested to see what happens here. Oh, what the fuck was that? Did you see that? I think they have made it harder. That was unbelievable. Oh god. Because I feel like the flames are actually a little smaller. Because I couldn't even see that flame because Link was in the way of it. Bizarre. Anyway. Okay, I'm not doing well at all. I'm much better in the original. That's alright. I think I'll still manage to get it within the time. Again, Link's body is blocking the fucking flames. Navi wants to speak to me in the middle of the game. The game is ongoing and she wants to speak to me. I mean, shut up. Talk about a distraction. I mean, that could be described as a massive distraction. I think you have to do it in under a minute, don't you? Well, I don't really remember. Oh no, I think you just have to get through that door. The time of this race was 1 minute and 7 seconds. You were very quick to be able to keep up with me. You're going to give me a hook shot. Well, let's do that one more time and see if we can get the heart piece, because there is a heart piece reward for doing it a second time. That was an absolutely horrific attempt. It wasn't so bad that I wasn't able to get through the door, but my god, that was a masterclass in how not to do it. Alright. There's also a heart piece in the... oh, hold on. Song of Time. How do I do this again? That was like ultra slow motion version. I bet Navi says something like, "We have to keep up with the gravedigger." Well, let's find out. She hasn't stopped trying to talk to me, so what does she have to say? Whoops, hold on. How do I even speak to her? Here we go. I wonder what's going on in the forest right now. I'm worried about Saria too. You have this fucking unusual obsession with Saria. That's all she wants to speak about. You know when she's constantly nagging me to fucking talk to me? It's always relating to Saria in some way. I mean, I'm not that worried about her, to be honest. I mean, wouldn't mind boning her. Wait, hold on. I'm still not sure, by the way, whether she grows up or not, which is actually a crucial part of whether or not I would continue to stand behind the comment that I just made. But I had this weird moment in a previous part where I thought that maybe Saria grows up and therefore she's a human. I'm now no longer certain that she grows up. I think she might stay a child, which means she is actually a legitimate Kokiri, in which case I wouldn't like to bone her, but perhaps Link would. But the point is that I'm having weird false memories about Saria growing up. I really, maybe it's all the fan fiction. No, I don't actually read that, but still, let's give this another try. What I found really quite challenging here was that I wouldn't even be able to see the flame because Link's body was in the way. General rule of thumb is you're not going to get a good enough run unless you avoid getting hit completely by the flames, which I will attempt to do. Attempt number 2 has been a little bit better. I do have more control than in the original version. Here we go. Strangely, even though I haven't... Oh no, if you look at the time, this is about 10 seconds better than last time. Here we go, yeah, I've definitely got the heart piece. That's the fucking strategy, don't get hit by the fire. You're back, young man. Was the present I gave you fun and useful? Yeah, give me that heart piece, you old prick. So the hook so here's the interesting thing, AJ. It's not the hook shot that shaves off time, it's the long shot. So you require the long shot because the hook shot isn't long enough to actually get you to that that torch. Basically, you can long shot to the torch later on if you want to wait for that. The long shot, of course, is the dungeon item in the water temple, so that's going to be temple number 3. Cool, so we just got 2 heart pieces, and we can also learn the Song of Storms from this guy. Whip out the ocarina. What? You've got an ocarina? What the heck? That reminds me of that time, 7 years ago. There was a kid with an ocarina who looked exactly like you, and if I were to, you know, look at you 7 years ago, you would just happen to look exactly like that kid. Back then, a mean kid came here and played a strange song. It messed up this windmill. I'll never forget this song. So I believe this is a requirement, not at this stage of the game, but later on. Excuse me. What this song does is it drains the well, I think. If you play this song in the past, it'll drain the well, and then you can access the beneath the well location, which is required before going to the Shadow Temple. I think the reward is the Lens of Truth. What is going on there? That looks like the sort of thing a loser would get tattooed on themselves. And I don't mean a little one, I mean a big one on their back. You know, like Podcast D-Ace. What a dick! Look at that giant skull he's got. Wait, it wasn't a skull, it was Whitebeard's head. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I got some rupees there, at the very least. These two are really, really entertained by themselves. By one another, in fact. I'm guessing the guy in blue is telling a joke, and the guy in pink is just laughing to the point of being completely inconsolable. is that it for this part? I think so. Not quite. I'll continue on a little further. Maybe I'll get started with the trading sequence, because we can actually get started with that now. Although, do you know what? I won't do that. Because if I want to do the trading sequence, I think it would be best to keep it all in one single part, so I will do it that way. What I will instead do is make use of the other magic bean that I planted in the area. Try to avoid this rock. And yes, this is going to be useful for the trading sequence as well, because it gets us up to the Death Mountain crater a little bit faster. But all we're using it for now is this piece of heart. I think we just got another heart container. I probably should have checked. Oh no, I think we got one before, so we've now got 10 heart containers, is that right? 2, 4, 6, 10, yes. We do have 10. And I suppose I may as well show you. I haven't really shown the bottom screen. Jesus, leave me alone! Here I am just trying to, you know, showcase my hearts. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not... It's not an unreasonable thing to do. But yes, obviously I'm not going to be playing the game like this. Even if I got all of the black and used a background to fill in all of the black parts of this screen, this is still a little bit too pulled back to my liking. I don't like how... Yeah, I don't like how it looks. It's not the way I would do it. Anyway, back to the original format. Yeah, I should get Epona, you're right. Epona is definitely something that I use for the trading sequence. Whether it's possible to do it without her, I couldn't say, but I've never done it without her, so... Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I'll go and do that now. And I suppose if we're going to Lon Lon Ranch, I may as well go and get that gold sculpture as well. Ah, except the sun has risen. Too bad. I literally don't care. As I've explained, I'm not getting any more gold sculptures, so... There you have it. Yeah, if you do backwalking, I suspect it would be possible. Because backwalking is not that much slower than Epona. It would just be more troublesome, I think. I'm assuming backwalking is just as quick in this version as in the original. Where am I going? I'm going this way. Here he is. Forgot his name. Gorman. Gorman number 1. Oh, Ingo. Ingo Gorman. They were called the Gorman brothers in Majora's Mask. So maybe this guy's full name is Ingo Gorman? I don't know. I don't need to listen about how to ride because I'm perfectly capable of doing it. I actually would really like to get on a full-sized horse. Or at least one that doesn't look like a pony. It would be a little different. Here we go. Can I play... Well, whether I can or not is irrelevant. I will just get my cheat sheet out and see how to play the Epona song. There you go. Stand still, creature. Alright, so now we... Oh wow, this is very over-animated. What do you have to say for yourself? Talk. No, I want to ride. I think what we need to do is jump the these things. Cool. So we've jumped that, and then I think I do a I'm getting another call, fucking hell. Yes, I saw the first call. I'm just in the middle of something. I'm trying to do a live stream. Trying to do a live stream. Okay. I suppose I could have texted the person to say I'll call you back. When you want to dismount, stop and press A. Well, I don't know. How do I get you to, have me challenge you to a race? It's always a little bit uncertain. I've jumped both of your things. Come, turn, stupid horse. I've jumped both of your things. I don't really know what else you want. You've played around long enough. I don't understand. Ride. Yes, but I've already jumped both of your fences, so don't you now challenge me to a race? And I also think I need to play Opponent's song again, because the horse is too fucking stupid to remember who I am. Alright, here we go. I'm quite sure I did that correctly. I don't think there's anything else to be done. Shut up. Alright, here we go. Get on the horse. Get on it. Well, I did wait out the timer. I don't think you actually have to do this minigame more than once. That's usually not required. Anyway, we'll find out. I'll just keep doing it. I seem to remember that if I perform the jumps and then speak to the guy, he then suggests that I race him. You're getting better. How about a little race with me? 1 lap around the corral with that horse. Let's make a little wager, say 50 rupees. Do it. I've got the money. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's a little bit glitchy in the original, because sometimes you can get stuck on Ingo. God, this is way easier than the original. Obviously, the strategy is to keep as close to the edge as you can so that you can get tight turns. He's absolutely spanking that horse. Listen to that. So I think you need to win twice in a row. I like how he was still spanking his horse after losing. If the Great Ganondorf found out about this humiliation, do you really think the Great Ganondorf would give a shit about you losing a race on a horse? Anyway. Maybe Ganondorf is an equestrian snob, because we've seen him ride horses, haven't we? Maybe he's, maybe he couldn't possibly have a servant who couldn't ride a horse as well as he can. Maybe that's the issue at play here. To be clear, I completely bungled that race. That attempt was completely bungled, but I still won because this, I think, is slightly easy, because in the original version, you can really glitch on the opponent's horse. If you are too close to Ingo's horse, you just slow to a near stop and then he just goes off ahead of you. But then sometimes you can also push ahead of him. It's a bit weird. How did you tame that wild horse right under my nose? Apparently that horse was going to be a present to Ganondorf. I don't know how that makes any sense. That does not fit his image. Alright, now that we're trapped in here, we just need to jump out. So apparently Ingo has a framed portrait of Ganondorf in his room. Well, I don't think Gerudo women are very interested in Gerudo men, so Ingo might have a chance. Alright. We got a horse. And I think that'll do us for this part, because I've done quite well. I feel like I've achieved a decent number of things. What I will do, seeing as though I'm on my horse anyway, is I'll head towards Lake Hylia. But I suppose I'll save that for the next part, hey? Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next part of Doing It Live with Doomlink in Ocarina of Time. I suspect we'll probably begin the trading sequence in the next part, and then after that, once we've acquired the Big Goron Sword, we'll take on the Forest Temple, which will probably be the part after that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.